first things first, let's just say off the bat, when somebody designs a diet for you, they should be hitting your macronutrient, or sorry, not your macronutrient, your micronutrient values, which is your calcium, your magnesium, your potassium, your sodium. All of those should be met. Nobody should ever make you a diet without ever first checking those. Second is your water intake. Is your water intake good? Is your vitamin intake good? If those are all met, then the next question is, okay, how many calories is this person expending? How many calories is this person needing just to maintain them on an irregular day? So generally you have two diets, one for a workout day and one for a non-workout day. Workout days are generally higher in carbohydrates, and non-workout days aren't because you're expending more energy on the workout days. So for an individual person, let's just say they have a 2,000 calorie diet in order to maintain them, including working out. Normally, it can vary, but you do anywhere from 40 to 60% of your diet is carbohydrates, 20 to 35% is fats, and then 20 to 30 is protein. And a lot of people are scared of carbohydrates, especially when you say the majority of your diet is going to be carbohydrates, because people are like, whoa, carbs make you fat. I'm sure you've heard that
Yes.
from a couple places. While that...
And can I just throw something in there? Because back in our day, it used to be the carbs were okay and fat made you fat.
Yes.
And so then it was like cut all the fat out, right?
Yes.
Right, and then that made everybody even fatter.
Right, because then they ate more carbs, but ultimately they were eating more. My take is they're eating more calories. Does that line up with the science?
Yes.
And no, maybe, but what's your thought?
The low-fat diets.
Generally, when you say, okay, this is the culprit of all my issues, either if it's fat or if it's carbs, and you say, I'm going to take it all out, well, then you're restricting basically a third of your diet. So, of course, you're going to restrict your calories, and of course, you're going to lose weight.
Right, okay.
So, just because you can get results from something doesn't make it the most optimum. So, again, it's easy to lose weight once you understand calories in versus calories out, and then actually just eating it and letting the process go. But in terms of making it the most beneficial for your body, then you can adjust some things, eat at certain times, stuff like that. So,
So let me ask you another question. So then the bottom line of what I'm getting from you is, and I would be in agreement with this also, is that the baseline of it is making sure you're getting all your vitamins and minerals, right? You need to have that first, because I think that also, let's say if you did do a junk food diet, right? Without those vitamins and minerals, you might be even hungrier because you're trying to get the calories of the food to get the micronutrients. And if those foods don't have it and that's all you have, then you're going to eat more to try to get that. Am I on track with that?
yeah.
Okay, so got to have the vitamins, right? And now where are you with the multivitamin and all that kind of stuff? What does the science say about that?
Yeah.
Most of the time, most multivitamins aren't absorbed well in the body, one. Two, there's really no need for it because, all right, let's list our vitamins. A, D, E, and K for your fat soluble, and B and C for your water soluble. B and C are in animal proteins, or B's in animals. C's in like oranges and all your citrus fruits, and most people don't have a problem getting those. And you can't store those. So if you can't store those, then they're going to be excreted. Vitamin A is found in stuff like liver, and it's also found in beta carotene, which is in like carrots and stuff like that. That can be stored, and that's kind of what gives you your like little orange pigment if people eat a lot of carrots. It's all the beta carotene. And that's not really toxic to you unless you're eating lots of liver, or eat like a polar bear liver. Like polar bear liver is like the one thing you can eat that'll kill you
I gave up polar bear liver.
Yeah.
Did you? I still do a little bit of it.
So then there's vitamin A, D. Vitamin D is synthesized from the sunlight. So if you're not getting a lot of sun, or if you're not getting sources that are high in vitamin D, you can supplement vitamin D. A lot of women like to supplement vitamin D because it's important in bone health.
Now that's a good question about that, because so when they talk about the sun, do you have to be like exposed, like like you're tanning? Do you have to walk around with your shirt off? I mean,
Yeah.
Is it enough just to get it through your head with clothes on? I mean, where does all that stand? And how do you balance that with you know, skin cancer and all those kinds of things?
Good question. So generally, you do it at least with your legs exposed, your most of your arms exposed, your face exposed. Of course, if you were to go and do full tanning, then you might get more vitamin D exposures compared to less. You have to do it with SPF 15 or below, so you don't block too much of the UV radiation, and you're only going to be spending about 15 minutes in the sun, so unless you're really, really fragile to the sun, then you'll be fine. As in terms of going too far, you know, if you're really doing a hard day of yard work or something like that, then go for the higher SPF, so you're not at risk for sunburn or anything like that, because you're going to get your vitamin D intake just because you're out there for so long.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. But most people, especially in the northern climates, if they're covering up during the winter especially, they're not going to get that sunlight.
So even with a cloudy day, you can still get some of the vitamin D stuff through that? Or does it have to be sun, boom, no clouds?
Things like cloudy days definitely do affect it. I'm not
Okay.
sure by how much.
Okay.
I would say, you know, if it is a cloudy day, maybe instead of spending 15 minutes out there, do 20, 25.
Okay.
And again, if there's just like too much cloud coverage where you're really not getting any sun, then you may not actually be getting any exposure at all.
Okay, all right.
Um,
And you're saying that the vitamin D there is being stored, is that correct?
Vitamin D can be
Be stored, okay.
but I don't necessarily think in very high amounts.
Okay,
You can go without it for a little bit of time though. I
Okay.
do know that.
okay.
E and K found in fruits and vegetables. Generally, you don't need to supplement with them. If you're eating a couple of those, you should be good.
Okay.
But then a lot of people say like B vitamins give you energy or stuff like that. You see a lot of people going in.
B12.
Yeah, B12
Right.
shots. So, yes and no. And there's two reasons. There's one big reason no, and then there's two reasons why maybe yes. And there's basically science behind it. So the first reason of no is calories give you energy. B vitamins don't contain calories. They're not going to give you energy. Two reasons yes is because of one, anemia, and two, because of just general B vitamin deficiency, which generally leads to anemia. So if you're lacking B vitamins, then yes, the main things that your B vitamins do, such as nerve processes and metabolism and stuff like that, that's all going to be impaired. But another one is there's 3 different types of anemias. 2 of them relate to B deficiency, and 1 of them just relates to regular iron deficiency. You can't make heme if you're lacking B12, and heme is what goes into your blood cells and like actually attaches the oxygen to it.
Oh,
So that's hemoglobin?
It's part of the
Part of
hemoglobin.
it, okay,
Because there's
okay.
heme and there's globin.
Okay,
So then the oxygen attaches to that heme, and if you don't have the B to make the heme and make it attach, then you're going to be running at lower oxygen levels, which makes you feel tired. So yes, if somebody's B deficient, they will have like poor energy levels. But that being said, it's not
going to give you a boost.
Yeah, it's not going to give you a boost if you're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I had my blood work done, and my doctor said, "Are you snorting B12 because you have a really high?" And I was taking a lot of B12 because I was so tired.
Right.
I thought that would give me energy, and it did. You're right, it didn't.
Yeah.
He said, "Ease off on the B12."
Right.
Mhm.
So, okay, so basically, want to get your nutrients, but you don't need to really supplement your nutrients is what the science is saying. But then there's a lot of stuff out there that says, well, you do need that. So there's that dilemma. You know, for me, I tend to go towards that. You know, I look at it cost efficiency and all that kind of stuff.
You eat a lot of vegetables, though.
And I eat vegetables, right. I'm going to go, you know, 5
Some
to...
people don't like vegetables.
Right,
I love vegetables.
right.
But some people don't like.
Yeah, so if you don't like vegetables, then are you...
If you don't like vegetables, learn to like vegetables. But yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
because, you know, there are people, man, that, you know, you can get into like, what do you call it, you know, when you're a kid and you're fighting over food, power struggles about food, you know, and I'm not gonna eat that, you know, and so then what do you do as a trainer? What do you say to the person if they say, I'm not gonna eat it, right? So you kind of left with, well, at least try to get the vegetables, because I think the big thing there is that without the nutrients, then you're gonna tend to wanna overeat because you're trying to get the nutrients. And so
And that goes back to what you were saying about the, eating junk food versus good food. If the calories are the same, you're still not getting the nutrients that you need,
Right.
so you're gonna be hungry.
Right, yeah, so then, you know, and I'm gonna say that the more that you put on your willpower to try to make it, so let's say you're hungry, but you wanna, but you're not gonna eat, I mean, that willpower can take you, you know, so far, and then once that starts to fail, then now you're back to, you know, you're gonna tend to
Right.
overeat, and your body's gonna take over, and you're gonna, you know, do more